Hi folks, today we're going to install a LiteRider tonneau cover made by the folks at Access Manufacturing. So first and foremost, thank you for your purchase from Geno's Garage, and we'll take it from there. Alright, first things first, we've got to open the box, and I'm going to try my best throughout this installation to read the instructions. First thing that catches your eye, it says no knife, so I got the white scissors out. Here we go. Contents are all here, but you really can't tell until you take 5 minutes to read the instructions. So rather than me read, step 1, look for contents in box. Step 2, look for further contents in box. And step 3, I think you get the picture. We're going to take about 5 minutes, go through the contents, go through the instructions, and make sure that everything's here and ready for the installation. Alright guys, looks like we're looking good. We've got 3 clamps that will hold the side wheels on for each side. The adjustment tethers from front. Look at the instructions. The tools needed is pretty simple. A 1/2 inch wrench. So I've got one. I'm lazy on a tool. Let's put these side rails on next. Folks, I've installed several of these dating all the way back to a truck I had back in 1996. And I can tell you from, again, reading the instructions and just having done this before, it's nice to have perhaps a spring clamp that you can get in one vehicle. Clamp this up in 3 places as you put the mounting brackets on. But again, having done this before, I know that I can fudge around those spring clamps, and I don't have right now. Just by setting the centerpiece up, making the bed rail flush with the lip of the tonneau cover. Make sure those 2 are flush, then I'll go back and I'll do the front and I'll do the back. Alright, I've got the center clamp mounted. I went back and made the adjustment to the front. It's time to nail it down. Alright, again, we're going to want to make sure that both rails are flush. Good at the front, good at the center. Put the 3rd bracket on, and we will fasten this down in the back and call this side complete. So you didn't trust that I could tell the left side from the right side, and that would be a really good assumption. The nice thing about the Access cover is we got a decal here that says driver's side. So 50-50 chance I got it right. Luckily we did. We're going to put this clamp on over here, line it up with the other clamps. The workmanship looks good on the other side, and here we go. Alright, time for the 3rd clamp on the driver's side. There we go. Alright, time to install the header bar on this. Now I can speak a little bit from experience. Again, I said I've done several of these dating all the way back to 1996. And I've had to redo several of these dating back to 1996 also. Learning from my lessons, you'll want to make sure this little lip is on the outside. And it's on the outside all the way across. And you'll also want to make sure your tethers are on the outside. Otherwise, you'll get to take the header bar off and redo this once it's all complete, and you find out that you've lost the ability to wrap around and tie this cover up to the front because your workmanship was incorrect and you didn't get the latch on the outside. Alright guys, this is the mechanism that tightens up the tension on the tonneau cover. You make the adjustments by moving this scroll piece right here. But I'm not going to mess with it at all. I'm going to leave it like this and see what kind of tension we have later on when we try to bring the bow down. If we get lucky, we're lucky. That's good. I checked both sides. They are an equal distance of threads, so I know that the thing's not going to be wanked to one side or the other. Now, how do we install this to the header bar? Pretty simple. We've got the long bolt that's going to go from here to a blind nut that you can't see that's floating in this header bar, and the other nut and bolt short we're going to install right here. So the adjustment bar will be like that, and this will help, again, this little scroll will help us do the fine-tuning adjustment when we get the bar set up front to rear. You know, I mentioned earlier that we cut this tape down from probably 30 minutes down to what you're going to be watching, which is 5 or 6 minutes. And the majority of that time of the 30 minutes was spent for me looking upward with a magnet and a flashlight, trying to find those blind nuts that were a part of this assembly so that I could tap into those. But we finally got that squared away. Now all I want to do is just double check and make sure before I tighten everything down that I've got this vinyl cover on the outside and both of my tether strap on the outside. We're looking good, so I want to nail this down and we'll go to the back and make the final adjustments and we'll have this cover installed. Alright, this is the strap that we talked about, and sure enough it'll come up here and slot A goes into position B like that. Let's give the folks at Access a little bit of credit. I made no adjustments at all to this adjuster. We just snapped it right into place. Wow. And let's roll this cover back and see how it slips into the space as we get in the back. If I wanted to make one of those YouTube videos, I'd go ahead and step off the back of the truck right now, but I'd rather not go to the hospital and stuff. So one of the reasons we like this cover so well is the thick aluminum bar that actually supports the tonneau cover. Many of you can take a trip back in time with me to 1988, 1993, when a tonneau cover had these bow and arrow kind of things that you had to put in. You had to put the bow in, then you had to come and roll the tonneau over the bow. It was one of the, let's just call it least fun arrangements I think I've ever had with a pickup truck. But with the Access cover, you simply roll back and the cover lays on top of these nice thick aluminum bars. Alright, and we're bringing it back for the first time. You see we've got it, the tension, we don't have quite enough to let us drop this down, so we're going to have to go and relieve some of the tension up front. Alright, as I mentioned, the tonneau cover is a little bit too tight, so we're going to want to loosen it up. Not sure which way to turn. That would be bringing this more toward the back. Good, I need to continue in that manner. I need this to be closer to the back so that we can close it. So I'm going to continue to make an adjustment going this way. One of the things about the LiteRider that we recommend this cover over some of the others, this one is kind of one of those set it and forget it type things. Some of the more deluxe versions have nicer handles and nicer equipment to make the adjustment easier to do, but to be truthful, you can pay a lot of extra money to make that adjustment easier to do, but you're only going to do it once in the lifetime of the cover. So we've tried to do diligence in recommending the LiteRider version of the tonneau cover and save you a couple of dollars along the way. I've done these installations, as I mentioned before, and it should have dawned on me, it came back to me as I was making the adjustment. I've got to have both sides equal, right? So I can sit here and count all the threads. I don't really want to take time to do that. But one thing that I should have just made mention, once you've got the adjuster pretty much flush with the header bar, I'm going to guess that that's going to be the perfect tension in the back. So let's roll this thing back and see if we've got it right. Will we be lucky? Here we go. Oh my goodness. There's another one of those pesky decals. You're going to have to hold with me while I peel that thing off. Can't have that. Alright, did we get lucky? Did we get lucky? Here we go. Here we go. Nice snug fit. Top of the tonneau cover looks good. I think we're almost finished. Alright, bringing the cover back one more time, you'll see how I'm going to show you what we need to do to unlatch the cover. You're going to see how this spring clip goes into place when the cover goes down. Now in order to release the cover, you simply pull on the nylon strap, releasing the spring, and then from there it's a one-man show. Going all the way to the front, wrap this cover up. Then you got your tether into the slot, keep it in place. Alright, let's come all the way forward with the tonneau cover. Let's go all the way back. showing how easy it is to uncover, or actually to cover your cargo. Come back, will it latch? Nice and solid. And then you come along the side of the rail, you've got the Velcro strip, just kind of tack it down, close the tailgate, and we're done. This is the last note. This does have a slide lock, and you follow the instructions, push to lock, pull it to unlock. That lock is on the passenger side. You'll hear that side do the clip and latch down. And if you want to lock, quote, lock the cover, you slide that over. Really, again, from experience and having owned these covers on about 4 or 5 different trucks, when that lock gets pushed inadvertently, I get really mad because I come back here to open up my tonneau cover from the driver's side, and all of a sudden I find I can't get it open. It's going, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? There's nothing wrong. Something hit the lock and made it to where I could not open the cover.